In this video topic, we'll discuss and continue about our last video that was to create a post inside WordPress. If I go back to editor, so inside last video, we had used two concepts, that is how to render dynamic categories to this add post model, and also additionally we have seen that how to upload featured media image to WordPress application. Now this time inside this video, if we pass all these data, how to use WordPress API call so that these data will be created as a post inside this WordPress application. Before going further, I only request you to please hit the like button to give us a thumbs up to this interesting course, and please do subscribe so that I will be creating such type of amazing and interesting courses for you. Next after this, let's go back to project editor. Then I will open add post model component, and this is the function, remember what we had created inside last video, which is going to upload our media file to WordPress application. But in return, it returns a promise block. So what basically we want media ID. It means in place of promise block, we want media ID. So simply before this API response.json, just add a wait keyword, and instead of console.log, let's return API data.id. Save these changes. Now, once we do these changes over this function block, let's go inside this event handler function. So here we have the function block which is going to upload our media file. This is an object which is containing post data like title, content, categories, featured media, and status. So after this console.log, let's add try catch block, because we have to use one more API call, and by the help of that API call, the most important API call, which is going to create a WordPress post with the help of all those data what we pass from add post model. So here try catch block, let's say error, so console.log, simply error log here. Now let's go inside this. Okay, here we have some mistake. So console.log error. Now let's go inside this try block. So let's use const API response equals to or wait, I will use fetch method. So here we have to pass our API URL. So first I will go into this JSON documentation of APIs. Let's copy this base URL. I will go here, then paste here, and inside this endpoints, simply we have to pass wp-v2 /post. So before using this API endpoint, again I will go to this JSON documentation, and if I search, let's say /wp/v2 /post, and now we can see that here we have an API endpoint what basically we can hit using get request type and post request type. So we are interested to get the ideas over this post request type. So inside this endpoints array, this is our second object. So once we use post request type, so here we have multiple parameters according to need, according to our requirement, what we can pass inside API call. So we can see that here date underscore gmt slug and many more. So we can see that inside our API call, here we have already used called title, content. So if we compare these parameters here, so we can see title, content, featured media, here we have a status, and one more parameter that is called categories. And in categories, look at here, type here, that we have to pass an array of data. So this is the API endpoint what basically we have to use to create a WordPress post. So inside this first argument like API URL, inside second, let's pass an object here. So first will be method, post request type, then here let's say headers, and inside headers, let's say authorization, and here let's say basic keyword space concatenate with like base64 encoded value of username of WordPress and password. Next here, let's say content type, it will be, let's say application/JSON. Then after headers, I will add body, and inside this body, let's say JSON dot stringify, and inside here we have to pass our object called post data. So once it will be executed, it will create a WordPress post by using this block of code. Now here, let's say const API data equals to await API response dot JSON. So for the time being, let's say console.log and API data. So save these changes. Let's go back to browser. Let's reload this complete application. And here, first I will inspect. Let's go to console tab. Clear this console. Click on add post. So here, let's say post something 1001. Let's choose category something called laptop, some sample content, some sample content. Choose any file. So let's say that I will select this mobile image, select status, so publish here. So once we click on the submit button, automatically it will trigger this event handler function. So first it will upload a media file, and this media file will return a media id after upload, and this media id will then bind with this post data, and these data we have to send to this API call to create a WordPress post. Let's go here, click on submit button, and now we can see that in return, we are getting a JSON response. Like here, this is first, like this is like console.log before try. And here again, here we have console.log, and this is the response what we are getting from WordPress. So to confirm the post has been created, let's go here, click on post, and now we can see that post 1001, click on edit. So we can see that this is post title. Here we have the post content. Here we have post featured image. If I scroll status, and if I go and see categories called laptop. So successfully, now by the help of one more API call of WordPress, bypassing all those data what we have sent from this add post model, now successfully we have created one more post inside this WordPress application. Now what next? So we want two things once post will be created. First, this model should be closed, and second, the table what we are seeing inside background should reload so that our newly created post will be loaded inside that tabular format. Let's go back to project editor. So as we know that inside this add post model component file, here we have a prop that is called handle close event. So simply let's copy this prop here. So once post will be created, let's remove this console.log and call this just that function, because this function is going to handle the open and close event of add post model. Save these changes. So if I go, let's reload, click on add post, let's create one more post. So here, let's say 1002, click on select category, some more content. Let's select this one, publish. Let's clear first console tab, click on submit button, and now we can see that our post has been created. If I go, we can see that our post has been created and also the model has been closed. Now the thing is that also we have to reload this table so that our newly created post will be loaded inside this tabular format. So for this concept, what we can do, let's go back to project editor. Then I will open our post list component file. And remember, inside this component file, here we have a function, and this function is simply listing all the WordPress posts inside tabular format. So what we can do, let's copy this function name, scroll down. So here inside this add post model, let's pass as a prop here. So simply let's say refresh WordPress posts equals to curly pairs, and this is our function name. So simply let's copy this prop here. Then I will go into this add post model component. Let's destructure. Then I will go into this create post API block. So after handle close event, let's simply call here. Save these changes. If I go, let's create one more post, add post. Let's say post 1003. Create category laptop. Here, more new post. Let's choose featured media image, this one. select publish, click on submit, and now we can see our post like add new post model has been closed, and also we can see that automatically this table has reloaded, and now we are getting our new post, that is 1003. And one more thing friends, you can notice like while doing anything there is no loader icon. I mean to say that whenever if we pass any informations to this form, click on submit button, so in meanwhile like when it is saving our data to database table, so in process there is no loader icon. So to be user friendly application, what basically I want that in process like when it's submitting data to WordPress API, in the meanwhile it display a loader icon, and once process will be completed, loader icon will be hidden. This model should be auto closed, this tabular format should auto reload, and newly added post automatically gets loaded inside this tabular format. So how to add the concept of loader, this interesting concept we'll discuss inside next video. So hopefully now inside this interesting journey, inside this amazing course, now step by step we are completing each and everything of this headless application. So for this interesting video, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. Now let's meet to our next amazing video. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.